that a conditional sentence is a sentence that gives a condition and the outcome of that condition. It expresses that the action in the main clause can only take place if the condition mentioned in the conditional clause is fulfilled. Let us read this sentence. My mother will buy me a bicycle when I become 6 years old. Now this sentence is also a conditional sentence. If you read it carefully, you will realize that this part of the sentence, when I become 6 years old, is a condition. So when I become 6 years old is a condition, and what will happen if that condition is fulfilled? My mother will buy me a bicycle. So this is the result. So when I become 6 years old is the condition, and my mother will buy me a bicycle is the result or the consequence. Hence, when I become 6 years old is the conditional clause, and my mother will buy me a bicycle is the main clause. So what do we see? That at times a conditional clause can begin with when. So sometimes the conditional clause begins with when. So now if I say, I was studying when my father returned from office. Do you think that in this sentence, the clause when my father returned from office portrays a condition? Do you think that the main clause, I was studying, depends on the fulfillment of this condition? No, this does not portray a condition. Hence, this sentence is not a conditional sentence. So remember that every clause beginning with when does not portray a condition. So read a sentence carefully to ascertain whether the clause is portraying a condition or not. Now let us read this sentence. If you had worked hard, you would have passed in your exam. Now this sentence is a conditional sentence where if you had worked hard is the condition. So this is the conditional clause, and you would have passed in your exam shows the result or the consequence. So it is the main clause. Now we could have also written this sentence as, had you worked hard, you would have passed in your exam. So what have we done here? Both the sentences convey the same meaning, but in the second sentence, we have removed the if and we have interchanged the positions of the auxiliary verb and the subject. So we have, had you worked hard, you would have passed in your exam. So this is also a conditional sentence now, where had you worked hard is the condition. So this is the conditional clause, and you would have passed in your exam shows the result or the consequence, and it is the main clause. So we realize that sometimes the conditional clause omits if and begins with had. So let us try to do this exercise. Rewrite the conditional sentence by using had. If we had carried a compass, we could have figured our way out. So what do we have to do? We have to write another conditional sentence beginning with had. How will we do it? We will remove the if and we will interchange the positions of the auxiliary verb had and the subject we. And we will get, had we carried a compass, we could have figured our way out. What about this sentence? We will include him in the team provided he apologizes for his behavior. Now you will realize that this is another type of conditional sentence where provided he apologizes for his behavior is the condition. So here the conditional clause is starting with provided. Now we could have also written the same sentence as, we will not include him in the team unless he apologizes for his behavior. So this is another conditional sentence where the conditional clause is beginning with unless. What is the conditional clause? Unless he apologizes for his behavior. So we see that sometimes the conditional clause can begin with provided or unless. Now what is the difference in the conditional clauses in both the sentences? Both the sentences convey the same meaning, but one sentence has the conditional clause starting with provided and one sentence has the conditional clause starting with unless. So let us try to understand the difference in the usage. When we say we will include him in the team provided he apologizes for his behavior. So in this sentence, provided he apologizes for his behavior is the conditional clause. We will include him in the team is the main clause. Now provided actually emphasizes the condition. And what do we see? That the main clause is positive in meaning. Also, the conditional clause is positive in meaning. There is no negative sense in any of these clauses. When we say we will not include him in the team unless he apologizes for his behavior, unless he apologizes for his behavior is the conditional clause which is beginning with unless. Now, unless is emphasizing the condition. Now, if you notice carefully, the main clause, we will not include him in the team, is negative in meaning. It has the word not included in it. The conditional clause, unless he apologizes for his behavior, also has a negative sense, because when we say unless, we mean to say if not or except if. So we are trying to say we will not include him in the team unless he apologizes for his behavior. So both the clauses are negative in meaning. What about this sentence? The strike will be successful as long as we stay together. Now this sentence also is a conditional sentence. If you read carefully, as long as we stay together is a condition. Hence, as long as we stay together is the conditional clause and the strike will be successful is the main clause. In this case, the conditional clause starts with as long as. Now, we have used as long as because we want to say only if. So, the strike will be successful only if we stay together. Hence, this is another example of a conditional sentence which does not begin with if. Now, let us do this exercise. Rewrite the conditional sentence by using unless. If he wasn't very ill, he would be at work. Now, this is a conditional sentence where the conditional clause is if he wasn't very ill. Our main clause is he would be at work. Now, if he wasn't very ill has a negative sense. So, we have to rewrite this part using unless, which is also having a negative sense. So, we will say unless he was very ill, he would be at work. Now, what have we done? Wasn't has been replaced by was because we have removed the not and included unless, which is giving the negative sense. So, we have unless he was very ill, he would be at work. So, what did we learn today? Today, we have learned that conditional clauses need not necessarily begin with if. They may begin with when, had, provided, unless or as long as. So, read a clause carefully to ascertain whether it is portraying a condition or not. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English, and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged, and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You can also win amazing prizes like PlayStation, iPad, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So learning at DeltaStep is not just fun and easy, it is also rewarding. So register for free now.